Okay, welcome back to another lesson. First things first, get these started. So you just want to go npm install React Redux and Redux Thunk. Oh, so that's the same as doing all this. So you don't have to do them one by one. You just go npm install, does all those. And if I haven't already told you, you don't have to go npm install -- save anymore. This automatically does it for you. So once that's in, and if you didn't know, you should know. Command-Shift-P. That's where you want to do npm install, and then these things here, and press enter. Okay, so we'll get rid of this. Another thing you want to do, go to Chrome, install Redux DevTools. Do that one. And then if you didn't know what Redux is, here's our user interface. Sending an action. Sorry, I should explain what does it do. So we have a main store. So say you have a user, it's got name and age. So that store, we update that from one component and then updates the store, and then the other component gets updated automatically from the store. So we don't have to update components like this, like have this, update this, and update this, send it to this, to send it to this. Each one just gets it from the store and sends it back to the store. So it makes it a lot easier. So anyway, back to this part. Action sends reducer. Reducer takes in a state and returns a state, and then updates the store accordingly, which updates our user interface. This will make more sense as we go through it. Okay, so next thing, you import provider from React Redux and import store from Redux /redux/store. Just put that in there for now. And sorry, you also want to create these files, Redux. So go to source, go new folder, and then inside Redux you want to go another new folder, actions, and another new folder of reducers. And then just inside Redux you want to have store.js and types.js, and then in the actions you got data actions.js, user actions.js. In the reducers we have data reducer.js, UI reducer.js, user reducer.js. Okay, so with this provider here, come down here, we're gonna wrap our whole div here into provider. So ending there up here, and then set this provider store to store. That's all done. And we can also now get rid of this because we're not actually styling anything with it. Save that. Okay, we'll come to types.js. This is just set up so when we're using these we can't get them wrong. It'll alert us that there's an error, as opposed to when you just have a string, it could be a little bit incorrect and will screw us up there. So do all these ones like so. Okay, so once that's done, okay, so after you're done with the types, actually first we might come to store, create the store. As I said, this stores all the current values, so we can access them from any component with the app and update them from any component in the app, instead of having components updating components. Okay, so import create store, combine reducers, apply middleware, compose from Redux. Okay, I'm not going to really explain this because it makes more sense after you use it a few times. So import Thunk, which is the middleware from Redux Thunk. Import all these from the appropriate folders. Initialize the state, set the state, middleware equals Thunk. Okay, so we're going to have these user objects, which will be the user reducers. So we're going to store the user reducer in the user object and we'll access it from there. If you're confused, you could probably call it user reducer and then user reducer, up to you, or just keep it like this so you have the same values as me for the rest of the series. Okay, then go create store, reducers, initial state, compose, apply middleware, spread the middleware, And this value here is the extension we need to get that. I'm trying to think where I got it from. Zalmoxis. So come to Zalmoxis, well, you can see it there on the screen, and then you want to copy this here. Copy that, or you can go to my GitHub file and get it from there. So once it's done, export default store. We go Command S, save that, get rid of that now. Come into login. So we want to remove this because we don't need it. Removing the set state from handle submit. And you might want to just copy this, but we're going to change most of it anyway, but just copy that. Okay, so I've just gone ahead to do some stuff. And a bit off track here, but come to app.js. You want to go local storage.clear here. This is because your page will keep refreshing all the time, so you want to clear the local storage. So you can try it without the local storage.clear and you'll see what I mean. That's the quick fix for that. Command S, we can close that down, I believe. I think next we're going to do user actions. So I believe we've done types. All types is sending these variables to strings, so then we can't mistype them as a string and get them wrong. So it just helps us to get less errors. Pretty much avoids us getting the errors. Pretty sure I've told you this, but anyway, come back to user actions. Then you import these ones here. Some of them won't use, but just do that for now. You can get rid of the ones later. We'll leave them there. And then import Axios from Axios. So create this function, login user. Takes user in history. History is pretty much this, so we push the home page after we log in. And dispatch. So the dispatch is loading UI. We're going to axios.post login. So if you come into your, another quick thing is I had an error in admin.js. No, sorry, it was in fbauth. So make sure you've imported this like so, because I had it differently and it was saying this wasn't a function because I wasn't in the right admin. So ensure that's correct. Do it like this, or go to my GitHub page to get the exact file, or you can probably work it out yourself. So when you'll get out of this one, so you want to get your login, this one here, copy it. So login and then user, for the user we're going to use. So we want to const fb token equals res.data.token. So then we'll add that in here, local storage, set the item to token fb token, and Axios defaults headers.comment authorization equals fb token. So that takes care of our token for us through Axios. Next, we're going to go dispatch settle job post. We'll create that down here in a second. I think I might have already told this, but I'm just going to throw it again. So dispatch clear errors after we've done. And then history.push, which will take us to the home page. And then we want to catch all the errors with dispatch type set errors payload error.response.data. So the payload is pretty much the response data. So what happens is the action gets sent to the reducer, which we'll create in a second, and then the type. So we do a switch case here with the type, and the type is get all job posts. Then we return this and we get the action.payload. So the user action sends a payload, as you see down here, which would be the data from our function, same as what we get back down here. Or I'll go to a more get request, maybe to send this get request. Like this is the response.data will be this stuff. So we send that in the payload. So this will get sent to the user reducer. The action gets sent to the reducer. So get all job posts, and then the job post will equal action.payload, which will update the state here, which updates our global state. So this is pretty maybe a bit hard to understand, but it does get normal after a while doing it a few times. So when it comes to back to user actions, once you've done this one, create this one here. Disregard these little notes. So get all job posts. You're going to come into here, copy this one, this one doesn't have much use. It was just an example of how to use the actions and reducers. So we do that, then we get the response, get rid of this, get rid of this. So with the response.data, which is all the data we see here, we dispatch it to the reducer through this type, payload res.data, and we should catch the errors here, and we'll just console log those. So once you're done on this page, come into user reducer. So then you want to port all these, so you can copy these from here. Let's copy all those. You don't need access in this one, sorry, but just all these ones here. So disregard these. So just for now, I think we're just going to use the job post one. So put those there like so. Export default function, state equals initial state, action, and then switch case action.type. So send authenticated. So when we log in, we send authenticated to true. So this is copies the state that we get and adds it authenticated true, which is false, which means we have access to things that you need to be authenticated for. And then we log out, we use this one, returns initial state. So when you log out, authenticate equals false, so we don't have to actually change anything. And then case get all job posts, return authenticated true, job posts action.payload. So we don't need to do this here. We'll just spread the states. It's pretty sure you don't have to be authenticated to look at the job post. So we'll do that, save that there. So job post is action.payload. I'll show you what this is in a second. And then default return state. So we just return the normal state. So we can save this. I come into Command Shift P, npm start. It's not exported from .types. I think it's just because I didn't save stuff. Command not exported from, oh, that's right, because I had it as set all job posts, and now it's actually get. So user reducer, it's not exported from .types. Oh, that's why. I set all job not defined in user actions. Line 17. Oh, apologize. Copy this. I had it as set all job posts, but it's really makes more sense as get all job posts. So come back to here. You want to log in. You can sign up as a new user or whatever. So I've logged in. You'll see you've got a token here. You're going to come look at Redux. and you see the state here. So then we go user job post. See, it's fetched all the job posts there and got all the info like so. That's in our global state, which we can access from anywhere. So that's just a brief example of what we're doing. Also come into here, just write this out for now. Basically the same as what I've just showed you. UI reducer, Command S. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can show you. Lesson 22. That's right, I've left it out. So if you come into login, I left out map actions to props, which goes here, which lets us call the login user function. So this will be under GitHub under lesson 22. So if anything doesn't work, just go on there and make sure you have the same code as mine, which is currently working. Okay, and I'll see you in the next lesson where we'll do some more of these user actions, user reducer. So once again, I'll go through it. You got the user action. It takes in, does the function, dispatches the function with the payload, which is a response to what data they get back from the function. We add a type to it that gets dispatched to the reducer. So it comes in here. It says which one matches, get all job post matches. We return .state, and then the action has the data in there. So the action.payload, which is here. Payload, action.payload is this, which contains the res.data. And then that updates the global state. So then it says job post equals action.payload, which you'll see in here is a job post. Well, it's gone. Well, we have to log in again. I'm not sure why that's gone. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next lesson.